Hey, everybody. It's Karen Anderson here with Aortic Hope for this week's Week in Review. If you're not familiar with what that is, I don't even have my piece of paper to take notes. I'm behind the game here. Week in Review, we just kind of review the week of stuff that we posted from the week before. That kind of is self-sufficient answer. I don't know. Redundancy Office of Redundancy, something like that. It gives you a chance to interact with me. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions. But the month of December is very, very different than the other 10 months of the year. I say that because there's another month, September, Aortic Disease Awareness Month. Yes, I'm saying it. It's a month, darn it. Because you can't teach somebody about the entire aorta in one day or 1 week, and no one should just be focusing on one part of the aorta because aortic disease can and does happen everywhere in the aorta. So, separate from that, December is like fun. It's like questions that make you think about things that make you feel hopeful and joyful and in the season, not bah humbugish. So we're going to talk about these things, and I'm going to share with you because we do it as a contest online on Facebook. So I'm going to share with you who won. We pick a daily winner, and then at the end of the week of those 7 winners, we pick the grand winner of the week, and that person weekly wins a $25 gift certificate to our Hope Shop, which I think is kind of cool. There's also a daily loser, but we don't talk about who the loser is because, we don't want to make them sad, although they should be happy because then they're entered into a contest for the biggest loser who will also win a gift certificate to our Hope Shop. See? And you can win more than once, but once you win, you don't get entered into the loser category. Not that you're a loser, you're all winners. But you know what I mean? So before we get started, click like, click subscribe, click the bell so you're notified every time we go live. So you don't have to rely on your memory, which I'm sure is probably questionable. This way you'll be told by your computer or your phone or something. So let's get into it. Day 8. Before we share day 8, I want you to know that week's 1 winner was Joan Cooley. Yes, she was. Good spin of the wheel. Excellent graphics there. Thank you, Molly, when you join us. Really cool, actually. So yeah, she won the first week, and let's get into day 8. So day 8 was what quote makes you hopeful? And my answer to that would be, don't just survive, strive to thrive. I like that one because that's the one Aortic Hope uses, and I like it. I like it a lot. Our winner was Sharon Carr. She said the sun will come out tomorrow. Now I'll be singing that song all day. So, Joshua, let's say hi to whoever's here. And I want to know what your favorite quote is if you have one.
Oh, the quote thing. That's an interesting one. Let's start
Okay.
off with Chef Rob, howdy.
Hey,
Tom Newentner,
howdy.
hello all.
Hi.
And Christina Kohler, hello.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
hello. Hello. How is everyone?
I think
All
they're
right, give me
okay.
some
What's a good
quotes.
quote, right?
Throw it. I know.
Man, very often when I'm doing these things, I'm trying to do my best to keep an empty mind, right? Perhaps Bruce
Gotta
Lee's
get
flow
out.
like water,
So, right.
right?
Flow like water.
Flow like water. It's a fighting thing, right?
Okay.
Bruce Lee comes to America, and part of the reason why he leaves China, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. It's all weird, but he was not asked, and there was a mandate by the Chinese people to not
Okay.
teach anybody what they know, right, for the way of fighting and all this other jazz. And so he comes here and he starts a new philosophy of martial arts called Jeet Kune Do. He's the founder,
Mm-hmm.
and basically he takes different premises from all the different martial arts, and he's like, this is more effective the way they do it, this is more effective the way these people do it. And he's like, you can't be rigid in the way that you're going to approach somebody. You have to be fluid, you have to be ready to go with the punches.
Need to flow like water.
Yeah, but also there's a second part to that saying,
Oh,
and
okay.
water breaks down everything. Water will always win as long as you can be persistent and flow like water.
It's not breaking down oil.
Well, eventually. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. I like it. All right. Well, that was day 8. Quote, things that make you feel hopeful and joyful. All right, we're moving on to day 9. So what do we got here? Small gathering or large? Which one gives you the feels? Which one gives you the feels? I can tell you that Lexi Williams prefers small gatherings because then she says it really gives her a chance to kind of mingle and have good conversation with everybody that's there. I will say I definitely prefer small. I just don't like people. There's too many people breathing and there's a large crowd. It's like so much, there's just so much sound and air. Um, no, small. Give me small. Concerts. I just tolerate them because I just want to, hear the song. And you have to hear the artist over everybody singing it. You pay all this money to listen to just sing with them. I don't know. It's weird, but there's just so much people, lots of people. And I prefer to be up close so I don't notice half of all of those people behind me. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I don't really
don't care.
consider a concert a gathering, though, right?
I guess maybe not,
Like, at
but
what point do we
still has a lot
consider
of
it a
people.
crowd? Because that's
It's
my
a big
limit, right?
crowd.
That's my limit. When it becomes a crowd, that's too
Yeah.
many people.
I'd rather go to an acoustic like session in a small room with round tables and candles. Everybody sits there and listens to your favorite artist than have to be like mosh pitted, with everybody else. Mm-mm.
Right? So I can see that.
Yeah,
So when it's crowded,
yeah,
but still like a
right.
gathering, it's still, this is like the question of, do
Yeah.
you like your friends and family, or do you want to have like a whole family reunion?
No, one of
Right?
those every couple years
Yeah. See,
for
they have their
sure.
place. I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, everybody. We're zooming. But that was day 9. I thought that was really interesting. That was a new question for us. Really got me thinking, what would give me the feels? Because for my family this year, it really is just my mom and myself for our Hanukkah party. My husband, my sister, my brother-in-law, my son, my niece, and her boyfriend. That's it. That's what we have. I'm happy. We'll probably play some cards or something like that. All right, day 10. I just wore my denim jacket. This denim jacket, I get so many compliments on my jacket because it's kind of like a pink red. This is my jacket with all of this beautiful material that's on here and the crystals, and then it's got clear crystals in the front. This is a custom made piece that you too can have made for you. And I believe it's with $100 donation. You can have a jacket of your own. Diane Bishop from Aortic Health Unlimited is making these jackets for us, as well as custom made jackets for Rock from the Heart. So you'll have that logo on the back. So she's willing to extra embellishments, whatever the case is. And she'll just create something that you might like that doesn't have to be this. You can always talk with her. She's such a good artist. And if you're interested, just send us an email at info@aortichope.org and we'll connect you with Diane. But the question is, what's your favorite piece of Aortic Hope swag? It can be a shirt, it can be a magnet, it can be a hat. I'm not even wearing any swag today because that's terrible of me. I forgot this question came up this week. I'm looking for something I can just I can just I'll just throw a jar opener. How's that? I'm just gonna hold on to it. How's that?
I didn't know our jar openers came in heart shapes. So cute.
They did. This is going to be part of next year's Hope Mail. Things to help you ace your healthcare journey and not having to bear down and open a jar is very helpful. Um, hey, that is one of my favorite pieces of swag, but I got to tell you, anything that's off the Hope Shop, I love. I love the baseball caps. I love my belt cover. And go figure, the winner of this with was uh uh, Kathy Jasek, and she has the seatbelt. So again, this is we showed this last week, I think. The new seatbelt covers, the new ones. Look at that. Look at that. This one, look at that. I mean, because if you were driving, it would be that way. Aortic disease covers everything. So if you've got a new valve, if you're watching and waiting on an aneurysm, if you have a dissection, this will be for you. And then it Velcros. Listen, let's listen. Yeah, it's a good sound, right? Has a plastic like pouch right in here with an emergency card that you can put some information on because it has the universal symbol that the first responders would respond to. So black or red. Plus, if you just feel like you'd rather have a medical alert, black or red. These are one of my favorites too. I absolutely love it. Love them. And you can get those now with an $18 donation. That includes shipping. There you go. That's on our Hope Shop page. But so what's a favorite piece of swag?
I'm going to go ahead and say that the one that pops the most for me is when people join the support groups and they're in their cars with the help belt on.
Yeah,
It's the like you
that's
see
pretty
it and
cool.
you're always like, see, it sells
Yeah.
itself.
I would have pegged you for saying that you love just the icon, just the hearts on clothing. You
Oh,
like
oh,
that.
the icon for sure. And I
I know.
still, I still use the water bottle that you sent. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that.
good.
Yeah, because
It's
every
great.
time I look at it and I see HTTP colon forward slash forward slash www, I think to myself, they need me.
But you know what? Weren't you the same person who tried to say to me on the shop early on, Karen, do not make decisions for the public. Leave that little teeny half top that some female will wear. Leave
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Leave it. Let the belly be exposed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You still say no, and I still say yeah.
I probably could think to myself of maybe three or four people I know in the community that would
There
wear that.
are
And I know it's,
caregivers that would wear it. There
mm,
are the
mm,
daughters of caregivers that are going to go out and work out and spread hope and joy.
I'm sure they would be.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if I wore that, oh Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. All right, let's move on. Hey, stop me anytime if we've got any thoughts from
uh,
our,
Chef Rob
few people.
says, my old sweatshirt. Yeah. Also,
Oh, yeah.
also, both him and Mindy have the aprons, and he's got the black one with just the icon logo, which you would have seen this
Hmm.
last one. That's my
Yep.
favorite apron, by the way.
Yeah, I do love their aprons.
Yeah, and he says the logo is disintegrating, but I can't part with it. I know. I have that same problem, just a couple of washes, and then it starts to peel away.
Oh my. Okay. All right, we're moving on. Day 11. What's happening? What's happening here? Well, we're not on day 11. You know why? Because it was a Tuesday, probably. And that was episode 11 featuring Eric Roselli, Dr. Eric Roselli. If you're in this community, you've heard this name. There's a couple physicians that we definitely know these names. And Eric Roselli is one of them out of Cleveland. So this is, again, a series that is started by Adam Ahmed. He is about to graduate, looking to match for his residency program right now. So he's wrapping up that fourth year in med school. And he took time to do a Twitter live event with a bunch of survivors in the community, as well as a couple key figures that are clinicians. So you might want to take a listen to this, click the link, hear what they have to say. It's really good stuff. Check that out. Easy to understand information, which is what I love. All right, 11th day of hope and joy. Your favorite little beverage. What would it be? What holiday beverage brings you hope and joy? Because Johnny Parrish, get this drink. He likes espresso with Kahlua and dark rum. I can tell you what I don't like, and that's eggnog. I'm not a big drinker, so I can't really participate in this one. If it was what do you drink that you do not like? And the answer would be eggnog.
You still have the
So
opportunity of saying, like, hot chocolate or all
Fireball.
of the other things. Yeah. Who
Fireball.
doesn't have
You
Fireball
know,
on the holidays? Is it really Christmas without a little bit of cinnamony fire?
cinnamony. I don't really I love hot chocolate, but as soon as I drink it, I'll get a migraine. Instant. It's so much caffeine in there. But I kind of like anything with Chambord in it too. I like pretty drinks. I like pretty fruity rum drinks, but I like putting them in fun glasses too. Yeah. Give me a drink with a spool of cotton candy on top. I'll think that's really fun. Smoking. Yeah. But then I also do like to I like every now and then a nice, like on a cold day, get some whiskey, add a little bit of the smoke in it and some vanilla, maybe a little bit of maple syrup, cinnamon stick. Mm, yum.
Right?
So yeah, what's your favorite drink?
Hot chocolate. On the
Oh,
holidays,
okay.
definitely hot chocolate.
Okay. Marshmallows or no?
No, no, I don't really want the marshmallows. And I prefer the hot chocolate that comes in the little Hershey's tin that you can measure out to suit versus the
Okay.
little tearaway packets.
You don't like
The
because you know
tearaway
what's wrong
packets, you
with
have to
those?
make half a
Yeah,
mug. That's the thing. If you
I
want the
know. That's
flavor,
all you
you can't
get.
water it down. Yeah,
Right. No, it tastes like brown water, and the marshmallows are like little chiclets.
yeah.
They're dried out and they're gross.
And
Yeah.
so,
Make your own.
make your own season to suit and what have
Yeah.
you. I also like, I don't like the milk chocolate,
What do you
hot
like?
chocolate. Well, I don't want it to be overly sweet. I like it to be kind of a
Oh,
tad bit. I'm a dark chocolate
okay.
fan, so a tad bit bitter, and that
Ugh.
chocolatey taste for me is worthwhile. So
Okay, well, there you go. I'm a milk chocolate all the way. I don't like bitter. But see, I'm also the type that I was, where was I? That I was getting my nails done, and I was asking lady, I got a candy laying around. She's like, sure. So she brings me a box of assorted chocolates, which is a nightmare scenario to me, because I get feel very anxious. I don't know what's inside, and it's not my box. Because if it was my box, I would be taking a little nibble out of every single one, and then kind of putting it back together and leave all of the ones that I hate and take all the ones out that I tolerate. Because nothing worse than biting in one and you're like, this is disgusting. I hate that. So no, no chocolates for me ever on Valentine's Day because I just think it's gross. Not
No, I
knowing
know what
what's
to get you.
inside your candy. Don't get that for me. Oh, oh, you just wait. Something's coming to your house. Oh my God. That's all I got to
It's
say.
gonna be all bitter chocolate. Enjoy. Nibble, nibble away.
It is that not what I'm sending you. What Terry and I sent you is knock it out of the park. That's all I have. I just dawned on me, and I'm so because you haven't said anything. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay, now you're excited too, but we can't be excited because I want to get into the next post. In all seriousness, the holidays can be a very, very, very stressful time, especially for our community members who have lost loved ones and friends. This is it's tough. It's a tough month. Doesn't matter what month of the year. Actually, it doesn't really matter if you lost people to aortic disease. This holidays are just a really rough time. A lot of people, missing people, sometimes even survivors missing their prior lives, because the things are still so fresh and new. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware. Not only do we have a grief support group meeting that meets every other month, and that'll start again in January, but we have the Greg Aaron Greenberg Memorial Wall. And this was created because one of our original founding board members, Greg Aaron Greenberg, double G, double A, as we would call him, really his role in the community before we were so early, before we had like these defined roles, his role was in direct response to his natural personality. He just made himself available 24/7 to comfort, to kind of just be very direct and honest with patients. And I think God, back then we didn't even know as much as we know now, but he was so good in making himself available to talk to patients and to caregivers. And I know for some of you watching, he really, really made a very strong impact on your life. So when he unfortunately passed, not directly due to aortic disease, but rather to something else that may have been because of it. But this was a time in 21 where you were still seeing surges in COVID and you could not get ICU beds. So he couldn't have his aortic issues addressed, but instead had another issue and just succumbed to that issue. Um, and in the words of Emily Dickinson, unable are the loved to die, for love is immortality. But if you yourself would like to honor your loved one or your friend, we would love to put a picture of that person with a few words, a paragraph or so that you want the world to know about your loved one. So you can always email me, Karen at aortichope.org, and we're going to go ahead and put that information on the wall. You can click on the memorial up here or in the link in the blog post, and it'll take you right there, and you'll have some examples because there's other people that are already on the wall. And it's our honor to be able to share their legacy. Your loved ones passed from aortic disease, and it's important that their story is told. I think all of us have an opportunity to learn something about their life while they were alive, and as well as what took place if you decide to share it in one of our survivor series. Odd name, I know, for someone who didn't, but But it's important that we understand the nuances of what went down. So again, we would be honored to be able to share that information and help you maybe a little bit during the holiday season. Okay, we're back to day 12. Day 12 was National Poinsettia Day. Is it poinsettia? Poinsettia? How to say it now? I confused myself. It's hot. So God, I'm having a flash. Whew! National Poinsettia Day. So what flower brings you joy? And when I think about that, I would say I love peonies. I love peonies and I think, is it a gardenia? I don't, whatever the flower is, I can never remember, from Hawaii that's got like the 5 big petals. Oh, it's because it reminds me of Hawaii. It used to be Gerber daisies, but peonies was big. They just look like big roses that just, I love that. Love it. I just love flowers because my husband does such an amazing job of landscaping, and I get to see them for a hot minute before the deer come up and just have a massive smorgasbord. So the tops are always eaten off of everything extremely quickly. But Terry Pazarowski, God, I hope I pronounced that name right. There's a lot of consonants in her name. She loves carnations, and that was just her answer. There was no explanation, but she just loves them. And maybe you don't need to have an explanation. So I'm not sure. Do you have any flowers that you like?
I like a specific one, but I can never remember what they're called.
Not helpful for today. Not
I
felt
know,
helpful.
right? Like I'm
Mm.
looking at pictures right now going, what is it called? Orchids.
Oh, my husband has a huge collection. He's the only one I know that's been able to grow them in the dead of winter when it's freezing cold out. He has them
Mm,
all indoors everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, I like
So,
that you can get them for people out of the grocery
yes.
store, and
Yes.
the caretaking for them is like put an ice cube in there, let it melt
Pretty much.
in a few days, put another ice cube in there, and I'm like,
Hmm.
that's genius.
There is a place, so you're from Maryland, so up near the Parkville area off of Harford Road, so northeast area, Maryland, coming out of Baltimore County. He is called the Orchid Man, and that is all he sells. And you're talking wild varieties, things you will
Hmm.
not see in the grocery store. Plus, if you're ever in the Maryland, Delaware area and you go to Longwood Gardens, I think it's in Kennett Square, PA, like right about that line, right about there. They have a massive indoor orchid collection. I mean, they're hanging from the ceilings, they're potted on the shelf. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm telling you, they're gorgeous. I personally prefer flowers that I can't kill because if I don't water any of them. My husband has to do it. I can't remember what day it is. So how am I going to remember when it's time to water? So I like things like succulents because then I can't really kill them. Succulents are fun. All right, that's day 12. Day 13, everybody. Day 13. What's the most difficult thing you have ever wrapped? I have a story to tell about that, but I will tell you that Cheryl Hazelwood, oh my gosh, she and her husband decided to wrap a fuel tank for his car. And it was a large fuel tank. Cannot even, I can't even begin to imagine that. But Aortic Hope did a fundraiser once at Barnes and Noble before COVID when they stopped, which, okay, it's been 4 years, time to bring it back. But we would sit behind the table, and the idea was if somebody bought a gift at Barnes and Noble from the store, they could come over to us, and for no charge, we would do our best to gift wrap that gift and then have an opportunity with the captured audience to tell them all about aortic disease. And then, you hope that someone's going to be kind and leave you some cash as a donation. And we usually did very well, not very well wrapping, but very well in the donation category. I mean, I made it very clear that was not professional. And somebody had left the Home Depot that was next door and came over with their drill set. And it wasn't, I think it was drill. It wasn't like in a box. It was in this bizarre thing, cardboard holder. And I just look at it a couple times and I was like, I don't recall them selling that here at Barnes and Noble. And she was like, I know, I just picked it up next door for my husband. And I thought, hmm, okay, well, I'm going to try my very darndest to wrap this. And I don't even think we got a tip. So, but what are you going to do? 'Tis the season. Fa la la. Yeah, those are hard.
I don't wrap gifts.
We just throw them in gift bags.
The bags come however they come, and the gifts get handed in the bags however they got delivered to me.
Gift bags. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not so much that I mean, I guess if I was giving a gift to a child, that would be fun. But when I give something
Yeah.
to an adult, to watch them open, because they don't tear into it like they're having a good time. They like peel the tape off and daintily unwrap things. I was like, I'm never doing this again.
I know people who did that and then would save that wrapping paper to
What
rewrap
is
a
that?
gift.
Oh, to rewrap a gift. Okay.
I guess, or it's a depression era mindset. Because let me tear into that sucker and get to it as soon as possible. That's how I am. Yeah. Yeah. I just did something. So I'm not going to say who it's for. I'm not going to say who it's for. But I took a box. And look, it's got like a truck on the top and a Christmas tree, and it's like says hot chocolate. I don't know. It's a holiday box. You just lift the lid up. But this was really cool. I sliced down the corners so that the inside of the box could lay flat. And I double sticky tape, and I put a little teeny present in the center of the bottom of the box. And I double sticky taped what would be the insides of the sides. And on two sides, I put like a chocolate marshmallow, and the other side, I put some other candy. On the one side, I put like a Vaseline chapstick, and the other one, it was like a nail file and a holder. And then I sprinkled it with peppermint sticks and a couple other little chocolate candies, and closed it up and put the lid back on. So what happens when they lift the lid? It's all going to be like, ba-ding. Isn't that cool? Oh, there might even be a hot chocolate packet in there. Oh yeah, it's a fun way to give a gift. It's
Very
like
creative.
special.
Very creative.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
And I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't because I saw it on TikTok. Well, some TikTok's going away. I don't know that I'll ever find something like that on Instagram, but I found it on TikTok and I saved it and I did it myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you're
I
going to be
made
able
two
to
of them.
find all of these things in everywhere.
It's not gonna be the same.
Instagram,
It's not
whether
gonna be
it's
the same.
Instagram, whether it's YouTube Shorts.
Not going to be the same.
It's the exact same.
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
I don't believe you. Okay. Well, this was day 12. Oh, day 13. All right, day 14, everybody, which we're not getting to again because it's a Thursday, clearly, because this was Dr. Caterino being interviewed by Adam for the TSMA Aorta Chat. And Dr. Caterino, what a good friend of ours from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center out in California. And did a great talk. Did a great job attending one of our support group meetings last week. See, because you never know who's going to show. I try to give everybody some notice, but sometimes it's last minute. And he was very helpful. He's a wonderful guy, just so kind and nice. And so you should check out this live event that Adam did. Did a great job interviewing Dr. Caterino. And now, before I'm still going to hold you here, we're not ready to finish up the days yet. Because we want to talk about, I want Josh to share with you a little bit of information about the live Survivor series that we had. Oh, that's great. By Christopher, is it Moz?
It's Moz, yes.
Moz. All right. Tell everybody a little bit about Christopher.
Yeah, so his t-shirt says, "Never underestimate an aortic dissection survivor." Okay, and he wore that shirt for his interview.
That's awesome.
The highlights of this interview include the following, and this was he does a very good job of kind of walking you through what took place. Okay. He's on the phone with his wife, and immediately, like during this phone call, he just starts saying no like a broken record. That's it. Just no, 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 like a broken record. She feels like something's wrong. Gets over there, calls 911. They do a thing. The MRI shows that it looks like a stroke situation. So they did everything that they could do for the stroke. But one of the image specialists says, but that is a dissected vein or artery in the brain. So let's follow that path. And they see that the dissection is happening across his entire aorta. And so the thing about this is he doesn't have an aneurysm. Zero aneurysmal growth, zero growth at all, aortic dissection. Now, this is where, he's being told all of these stories, and that's probably one of the most magical things that happens in this interview is that he's just relaying the different stories that have been told to him because he is in a coma for 1 month before he wakes back up. For him, he was on the phone with his wife, and then he wakes up. That's it. 1 month, a little bit later, he wakes up to seeing his hands and feet black. Right? And so the doctors are like, hey, there's a possibility that we're going to have to take your hands and your feet. And he just has this way of saying, well, that's all right, that I find so charming. Well, that's all. He says it over and over. Well, that's all right, too. But
Okay.
over the course of 6 weeks, the color comes back to his hands, the color comes back to his feet, and they have to take just a tip of one of his fingers because it was the infection finally touched the bone, and they wanted to make sure that it didn't spread anywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the thing about his situation is,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking, you know, first they you know, repair or not repair, but they image the stroke, and once the aortic dissection is identified, obviously a hospital that's not equipped for it is going to send him someplace else.
Yeah.
They save his life, they get him under, but even the doctor that did the surgery was like, I don't know. Like the damage that happened to the strokes, and the strokes pattern was, he had something like 12 to 15 strokes during his dissection, and they thought that he was going to wake up and be kind of a vegetable. And so they were prepping the family for, we're going to do this repair, but we're not entirely certain what the turnout's going to be. And there's that moral question that the surgeon has to ask himself. He's like, I'm about to save this life, but what life will be there?
Right. What am I actually saving? Yeah.
And so when he wakes up and everything, like, it's bananas. When he comes back to the hospital, the doctor that's, you know, is not expecting him to walk into the hospital, and he walks into the hospital. He's like, hey, I'm Christopher Moss. He's so charming.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But then they tell him that he has, you know, he needs another repair. Right. And so, you know, he has to prep for that whole thing. And, you know, after his first surgery, in 10 months, he's an avid skier. He's skiing again. Right. And so he has a second repair. Right. And the second repair happens because he was skiing and he hit a bump and took a spill and was coughing up blood, and, you know, bam, 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 you know, things get fixed again. And he looks at the the surgeon. He's like, well, you know, thank you. You know, about how long should my recovery be? I plan to be on the slopes again by January. And the doctor's like, maybe that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's telling me this story 2 weeks after he had kidney stone procedure, where they put the ultrasound, or not the ultrasound, but the sound waves to break up the kidney stone.
Yeah.
Well, it somehow manages to impact his spleen. Okay.
What?
Yeah. So he starts bleeding out on the table. They go from something that they do $500,000 a year every year.
Yeah.
To a situation that has only been reported in all of medical literature 3 times. He's number 3 for this. And so he's very adamant about being your own advocate. He's like, you have to think about the unintended consequences. He's like, something like this can only be attributed to having a connective tissue disorder.
Right.
And if you know that you have that, then you have to be able to relay that, because even such a simple procedure, something that they do 500,000 times a year, can have major repercussions.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah,
That's
his
insane.
story is amazing, and his outlook on everything is even that too. He's just a bright, shining light. He's an amazing guy.
That's so awesome.
It was a great story. We were after the show. He had so many more stories to tell me, because he does have 1 month of stories of people that are impacted by his case. And the other thing is it's so extreme. His case is so extreme from everything all the way through, that it's like magic how he healed during this process in the first place.
I don't even know if I've ever heard of anybody who started off as a dissected artery in the brain, which causes stroke, and then they actually traced it to its origin. I mean, and at first when you told me about the extremities turning black, I just assumed maybe he was no longer getting proper blood flow to his arms and legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. He's right as
Crazy.
rain today. He's still not
Phew.
skiing, but yeah.
I would hope not.
I would hope not. So when
Jeezy,
he said
Badeezy.
he's skied, I was like, 10 months later, you're just as bad as Chef
No,
Rob, who decided to walk up a
it's
mountain in his fourth month.
sometimes no, no. No. We were in the amusement parks last week and, we rode this one ride, a Harry Potter ride, something or other bank. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, people. I'm so sorry if you are, and I don't know Gryffindor for Griffins, some Gringotts Bank. That's what the guy's name was, Gringott. And it has like a 25-foot little baby drop and it goes, I looked up and went about 25, 28 miles an hour. And I was like, oh, that was a spectacular ride, like wind in my hair. So then we go to this other ride, um, like the mummy, and I'm like, what is this? Is this like Gringotts? Or like, well, it has like about a 50-foot drop, just like real quick, and then it goes about, 38 miles an hour. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. I think maybe. Then there was another ride that was in Disney, and we were asking about, they're like, yeah, no, this ride goes about 58 miles an hour. And I'm like, yeah, no, I think I'm good with like the bank. Like it's thrilling enough. I'm good. The last thing I want to do, and it's not because I get scared. I mean, I love coasters, is have to engage my core to tolerate a G-force. That's not what you want. So sometimes you just have to give it up, or you really have to work hard with your physician to come up with the plan to do the things you love to do, which might take a year or two before you're ready for it. So maybe Christopher does ski again, but in time when they can see what happens, I would
No.
not.
Now
My
it's a
knees.
question of because he's his entire just about his entire aorta has been replaced with
Well, then, yeah, what?
bypasses.
Then it's like, why not ski?
Well, it's not about why not ski. Now his
Yeah,
concern is I don't want to ruin any of the good work these people did at this point.
true.
And then
Right.
another wake up call is just again how a routine procedure
Yeah.
put him in put like they had to save his life. He lost 6 pints
Yeah.
of blood while
Yeah.
this thing is happening, and I mean, he
That's
just
just so crazy.
yeah, like let's get this thing back
Ugh,
together. Craziness, absolutely.
crazy, crazy. All right. Day 14. Day 14. Post a picture of your dog or cat. I can't show you what the picture was, but the winner was Velda. She put a picture of herself and her Bella.
Bella was a
Oh,
great girl.
Bella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she put that picture. And I went looking for a picture of my Penny by the Christmas tree, and then I got too sad to post it. So I didn't do it. I didn't participate because it made me sad. But there
Have
were
you
some
been
great pictures
shopping
of
for
pets.
your new puppy?
I won't have a new puppy till next fall.
You're
So
putting it
no,
till
but
fall then? Okay.
I have to. Yeah, but just too much going on. And I've got a couple other trips for the organization. Then I can't leave it all just to my husband. So we're like, we're cool. We'll get the house settled, get it all, and then boom, on the mission. But it's tough. I didn't even realize how tough it would be. I walk around, I see all these great gifts for dogs and outfits, and it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. Eh, It'll be over soon. And then it'll be the new year. So yeah. So that was that. So some things to think about. Today's the 16th. What do we have? Oh my gosh, we have Aortic Hopes, the Aortic Artist tomorrow night. Is that going to be a trip or what? We have Diane Bishop with Aortic Health Unlimited. She will be here with us at 7 p.m. We are painting wine glasses, but these will not look like ordinary wine glasses. No, no, no. I think she did one already as a test run that looked like it was a bunch of multicolored Christmas lights strung all around it. And it looks so good. And I'm hoping to create one that's going to look like Santa's outfit. And then the other one that's going to kind of look like the Grinch. But whatever you decide to paint, and you can do anything you want, you have to buy glass paint, glass acrylic paint, or multi-purpose acrylic paint, which I found in Hobby Lobby for like a buck and change each bottle, each container. So I picked up black and white, red and green, and a little bit of orange for oh, it wasn't the Grinch. I was doing a snowman. I did orange for the carrot. So they're little tubes. You're going to use them again because you can use them in painting. So everything that we're telling you, you can use again, except this one project. Regular acrylic paint is not great for painting on glass because when you're done painting on the glass, you're going to bake it in the oven so that it is perfectly sealed. I don't think you can do that with just any type of acrylic. So make sure you get glass or you get multi-purpose and read the back and it'll say good for. As long as it says glass, you're okay. So you're going to need that plus like 1 or 2 brushes and your wine glasses, which I got at the dollar store. And I got my brushes, which I got 2 or 3 months ago when we started this at Five Below. Got a couple brushes. So this will be pretty simple, but it should be a lot of fun. And you can make them as gifts for people. You can make ones for New Year's Eve. I mean, making wine glasses are so great because then you don't need the wine glass tags. Everybody gets their own individual fun glass. So that's what we're doing. Then we have the Aortic Kitchen on the 18th, which is New Year's Eve brunch, correct?
That is correct.
New Year's Eve brunch. That's at 6 p.m. And of course, all the rest that's happening are our standard events that we usually have happen in the month of December. January should be posted before next weekend. I just got so much to do. Got to get my mind wrapped around a lot of different things. I can't believe it's going to be January. It is truly just amazing. So, yeah, I think I did. I think that's everything. I think that's all I got. Anybody have any comments? Quick day today. It's
Well,
rainy, it's gloomy, gusty outside. Ugh.
yeah, Chef Rob says, do it now when we were talking about the things to do. Do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now.
And
Yep.
so this is New Year's Day brunch, by the way.
New Year's Day brunch.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. New
January
Year's
1st
Eve
type brunch.
is a celebration.
Not a brunch.
Brunch is
Yeah.
the next day. Yeah.
Yep.
New Year's Day brunch.
Well, we still have one more week in review next week before the holidays begin. My shopping is officially done.
Are you traveling
I'm
for
done.
the holiday, or are people
No,
coming in?
nope. Going to my mama's. They're coming in town. We're doing a Hanukkah party.
Yay.
On Christmas, I will be partaking in the standard required Chinese food and a movie day.
What's the movie?
Don't know yet. Waiting to see what's going to come out. I mean, I would be fine with Mufasa. I don't think that my husband is going to agree. But last year, I did agree to Ferrari, which was quite tough to sit through. So, yeah. I actually would see Wicked for a third time, but I won't win. So I have to wait and see what comes out.
Okay.
And then we shall see. So that's all I got, you guys. That is kind of all. Hey, I hope you guys checked out the post. Oh wait, you know what? It might not come in. We're going to talk about it next week, but it is up right now. The post from Endovascular today, where myself and Dr. Udelman were included in interviews all about patient care and aortic disease, specifically dissection. So that was so fun to be a part of. I mean, Endovascular today, like major news organization, publication for physicians. I was ever so tiny bit of nerve wracking because I was super excited. So that is out. Yeah, that's all I have. I don't have anything else. But what I have is a lot of work I have to do. So that's what I got going on. All right.
All right.
Everybody, do me a favor. Please click like, click subscribe, click the little bell so you're notified when we go live. And I'm giving you fair notice now, next Monday, doing a giveaway. As long as we've got 5 people who join us, I'm going to give something away. So come join us. I'll remind you. I'll do a little something with a filter for the holidays, and I'll remind you. Also, don't forget, on around Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, which is also Hanukkah, we have our annual video we post from our board where we elf ourselves. That sounds so bad, but that's what we do. And so we'll find a fun video to pop our faces into and hopefully make you giggle a little bit. But that's it. That's all I got. Do all those things I asked, and don't forget to click share. Share it across your social media because somebody might stop in their day today and say, what was the hardest thing I wrapped? What is my favorite beverage? You never know what they're going to find informative and fun to learn about. So that's all I got. And I will see you guys next Monday for our next week in review, and go hang out with all the other stuff we've got, like Aortic Artist tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye.